What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for stopping by today. Today's video is going to be a collab that I'm doing with Scott over at the THEREALSHOWBBQ, and we decided to team up and do a rib video. And we're going to do these ribs exactly the same. I shipped him some rubs, and the rub that we're going to use on the ribs is going to be this hog waller from Suckle Busters. This is a really good rub. It's one that I use in comps. I absolutely love it. And we're gonna cook these the same. We're gonna use the same wood, the same rub, the same sauce, and we're gonna see how they turn out. So we're gonna do some baby back ribs, or at least I got a rack of baby back ribs, and I believe that's what Scott is doing as well. I will leave a link to his video down in the description box. Just hit the show more button and it'll take you to his channel and you get to watch his video. But we're gonna cook these. I'm cooking mine on my pit barrel cooker. I'm not sure which smoker Scott is gonna use, but it doesn't matter because the season is gonna be the same. The flavor all around is gonna be the same. And this should be a really fun collaboration. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started. All right, so what I have here are some ribs from Smithfield. This is a 3-pound rack of baby backs. I am going to trim a little bit of the fat here that you see here, and then I'm going to trim or remove the membrane from the back. Get this turned around some. And I'm not going to take off too much, but some of this, there's just too much on here to leave, and I'm also going to try to make sure not to go too deep. So I will be the only one eating these ribs. So I'm not worried about no glove right now, you guys. So I'm just gonna get this trimmed up some. I'm not gonna get overly carried away with it, but I do want to remove some of it, like I said. And that's probably going to be about it. I will be the only one eating these ribs today. Take the back, get the back. Here's that membrane. And get a paper towel. You want to make sure we get under that. I'll probably start on this end. Actually, let's go this way. Get right under here, lift it up a little bit, and take a paper towel. There you go. You know what, I am gonna trim a little bit of this fat on the bottom. It's not a lot of it, but I want to get some of that off. All right, so those of you that know me, you'll know that I like to use my SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, as my base rub for everything. And I'm gonna do the same with these ribs. I'm not putting a binder on here. The ribs are still kind of tacky, a little wet, so I think that's gonna be enough to get this rub to stick. That should be good. And I'm gonna come back, again, the rub that we're using, Scott and I, is this hog waller from Suckle Busters. This is some really good stuff, you guys. I love this on pork, on ribs, pork butts. It's excellent. Gives it a nice color. It's a nice sweet rub. So this is going to be a rub that really complements this pork. And so I'm just going to let this sit for about 10-15 minutes, let that rub sit in, pat it in there. I'll flip it over and we'll do the other side and get them on the pit barrel cooker. All right, we're going to come back and hit this top side again. First layer is my SPG. And this is just, you know, this SPG, I mean, I like it as a base rub. You know, it just adds an extra little flavor. It's like when you go out to eat, or even when you're eating at home, what do? You usually grab some salt and pepper and put it on your food. And so that's kind of the idea behind this and why I use it as a base rub. I think it just kind of enhances the meat, whichever meat I'm using, just a little bit more. So then we're going to come back with this hog waller. Just come all along. Again, this hog waller is some really good stuff. Give that a good pat. Let this rub set in for a little bit, and then we'll get it outside. All right, so I got my charcoal basket here. I went ahead and purchased one of these pit barrel cooker chimney starters, just because it's a lot smaller and it's easier to get in here. So we're just going to take that, just dump it right over the top. And then the wood that we will be using is cherry. So I've got 3 chunks of cherry here that I'm going to drop in here in just a bit. I'm not going to put them in there yet. I'm going to wait until about 5 minutes before I put the meat on. Then I'll come in, drop the wood in there, and then hang the ribs. So let's get these rebar in place. We're going to get the lid on, and then I'll check back in about 10 minutes and the ribs should be ready to go. All right, these ribs have been setting for a little bit. You can see that the rub is starting to set in. I'm going to take it from this end down here. I'm going to go 2 ribs in, 2 bones in. Let's see, there's 1, 2, right through here. And just get that hooked. And then we're going to take this outside. The pit barrel cooker is ready to go. We're going to drop some wood in there and then get this rack on. All right, so I got the wood in here. We're going to take these ribs and just hang them right here in the middle. And then I'm probably going to use just apple juice throughout the cook to spritz. And I'll start at about the 1 hour mark. Actually, probably about the 45-minute mark. And we're just going to let this go till they're done. I'm not going to wrap. I'm not going to add anything like that to the ribs. We're just going to spritz them. We'll sauce them and then see what they taste like. So this is where we're at now, and I'll pick back up in a little while. All right, you guys, I wanted to show you, just spritz them down, but I wanted to show you what they look like an hour into the cook. So this is what they're looking like 1 hour into this cook. Great color already. So I'm really excited about how they're looking. So spray them down, a little bit of apple juice, and get them back on. I'm gonna put them on this side here, and then I'll pick back up once it's time to sauce. All right, you guys, these ribs have been going for about 2.5 hours, and it is time to sauce. We're getting some really good pullback. I hope you can see that here. Getting some good pullback. So what I'm going to do is just going to lay it right over the top here. And the sauce that I'm using is going to be this Head Country Apple Habanero. This is some good stuff on ribs. So I'm just going to give that a good coating. Get that wiped down. You know, the rub is going to give it a nice sweetness. This sauce is going to give it a little bit of heat, so it's going to be perfect. So let's take this and we're going to flip it over. I can tell it's getting done because this, where I have the hook, is kind of moving, and I'm a little worried that these ribs might fall. But we're just going to let them set for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to pull them off, let them rest, and then I'll pick back up. So they're sauced. We're going to get them back on, and then I'll pick back up once we take them inside and get them cut up. Let me get that off. All right, so these ribs are done. As you can see, they've taken on some beautiful color. Man, these ribs look amazing. They've been resting for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna flip them over, and I'm just gonna cut a few of these ribs. I don't know, we'll just start at this end, and then give them a taste. They're cutting pretty good, so that tells me that they're tender. We'll see what they taste like. We'll cut one more. That's it. I'm gonna put these aside. Oh man, I don't know if let me move over here real quick. All right, these ribs, man, look at that. You can pick that up. There is plenty of moisture in these ribs. Holy cow. Look at that. You can see that moisture in there. These are gonna be good. That's what the top looks like. I cannot wait to give this a try. Man, look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful rib. Take another one, see what it looks like. Oh man, look at that moisture. See that moisture? That's perfect. Holy cow. Yeah, buddy. The top of the rib, it just looks really, really good. Let's give these bad boys a taste. Holy cow. All right, you guys. I cannot wait to taste this rib. Look at that. That color is phenomenal. Tons of moisture. You got a thick baby back rib. Let's give it a taste. Right in the middle. Look at that bite. That is a perfect bite. Holy cow. Messy. Oh my word. Listen, I make a lot of ribs. I've had a lot of ribs. These ribs, holy cow, they are phenomenal. I'm really blown away by these ribs. I've used this rub multiple times. I've used this sauce multiple times. I've never used them, well, I can't remember if I used them together or not. However, let me tell you, these ribs, let me get that out of the way. These ribs were freaking phenomenal. I get that sweetness from the rub. There's a little bit of heat, just a little bit from the apple habanero sauce. But let me tell you what I'm picking up the most. I'm picking up the smoke. On that pit barrel cooker, I've mentioned this before, cooking ribs on a pit barrel cooker compared to like a Weber kettle or something, it's a little similar. The best way to describe it is cooking a burger on a flat top compared to cooking a burger on an open flame. That flavor that pit barrel cooker gives these ribs, oh my word. I'm telling you, it is damn good. So I am extremely happy with these ribs. I can't wait to finish some of them off. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, make sure you go check out Scott's video. I will leave a link in the description box. Just hit the show more, and there'll be a link to his video and his channel. Go like his video, go subscribe to his channel. I would appreciate it. I know he would appreciate it. I'm telling you guys, these ribs are good. They're damn good. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Take care.